Hey everybody, Jimmy Rance here. I want to talk to you today about something that is critically important that I think all of us need to do if you haven't already done this. I also want to say that this is probably one of the most boring things we can talk about. But sometime in life, we have to step up and take personal responsibility to make sure that everything goes smooth if bad things happen. Okay? And what I want to talk about is two things. One, I want to talk about wills and power of attorneys. Now, number one, I'm not any kind of legal anybody, but I'm telling you, I'm suggesting or I'm recommending that you do this. And consult an attorney always. Okay, here's the deal. A long time ago, my family and we went to our attorney and we had wills made. My dad, my mother, myself, my wife. We all went down one big canoe. And we got a will put together, each one of us. And each one of us had a durable power of attorney. Keyword durable. Durable power of attorney. Now, why is this important? Well, first of all, let's say that someone dies, which I've had a couple of deaths in my family, my dad and my wife. I had a power of attorney which allowed me to make all medical decisions, any kind of financial decisions that had to be made or done in behalf of my wife. I legally could do that because I had a power of attorney. My mother had a power of attorney made and a will. I want you to remember this, if nothing else, because I didn't really think about this. Everybody thinks a will that, I got a will, everything's cool. Not necessarily. In order for a will to be effective, the person who made out the will to whoever they made the will out to, they have to be dead first. So a will is no good until the person that has the will dies. Well, I'm getting ready to tell you a little story, so hang in there with this. Like I said, this is boring as all get out, but it's very important. Now, my wife, let me start with this. My mother has Alzheimer's disease, okay? She has dementia. And she is in a memory care unit here in town. And it's a very nice place. And I don't want to get off into, too much personal information, but to give you an idea, I'll say this much. It costs a little over $10,000 a month to take care for like room and board and medical care for my mother. She doesn't even know who I am. She doesn't even know who she is most of the time. So of course, she cannot conduct any kind of business on her behalf because she's mentally not there. She can't do it. So thank goodness that we went down all at the same time and she made a durable power of attorney and she chose me as her what's called the attorney-in-chief or the POA, power of attorney. That if anything ever happens to my mom while she's alive, I can make all arrangements for her finances. I can take care of any business that needs to be taken care of. I can deal with her investments. I can invest for her or reinvest or sell, buy, whatever. I can do it. And I have a POA that I had made out to my wife. My wife had one made out to me, blah, blah, blah. Well, my wife, now let me just say this too. My wife, as many of you know, I have a lot of new people on here too. You may not know, but my wife died a little over 4 months ago. I mean, a surprise, shocking death. And my wife took care of all of the responsibilities that had to be made for my mother and her financial and her health care at this memory care unit where she is as of this moment, and she has been for over 3 years. Well, yesterday I went to the mailbox and I came back home and I went in my den and I saw this letter. that came from the memory care unit. And I opened it up and it says, "Dear Mrs. Such and Such, you owe our facility these tens of thousands of dollars." And I was like, what? Wait a minute. You see, I thought that my mother's health care was already taken care of, where it was all preset to where money just went straight from her bank straight to this facility. But I was mistaken. I didn't know because my wife took care of it. Well, my wife, like I said, she died back in September. So I get this bill yesterday, not knowing anything, that these guys need thousands and thousands and thousands upon thousands of dollars. So I had to figure something out. So I called the memory care unit and I explained my situation, told them I got a bill for my mother. What's going on? And they said, we have not received a payment since like September. It cost, again, over $10,000 a month to stay at this place. So what I had to do, and thankfully I had this power of attorney from my mother to me. So I had to go to the bank today. I had to say, I am my mother's son. This is who I am. I also bank at this institution. I've been with you for 18 years. My mother's been with you for 18 years. And I am in a jam. I owe, for my mother's behalf, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in back money that is due to this memory care facility. I need you to cut me a check for X amount of tens of thousands of dollars. Well, they said, well, first of all, we know you say you are who you are, but you got to prove it. So I had to give them my license and I proved I banked with them. And then not only that, but then I had to prove that I could legally do business in behalf of my mother. So I went in there and I showed them all the paperwork, all the legal stuff, the POAs. Again, the will not work. Even though when my mother died, I was supposed to get this, this, and this. It doesn't count until she's dead. But that power of attorney gives me the authority to do and conduct business for her. The bottom line is because I had the POA, and this is what I'm trying to encourage you to do. Folks, get a POA. If you're married, where if your husband gets sick and he can't make decisions for himself, ladies, you can step up and you can speak in his behalf. Same for you guys with your wives. It doesn't really cost that much to do this, but I urge you to do it. Because today, I walked out of the bank with a huge, huge cashier's check that I will mail off tomorrow to pay since last September for my mother's care. And not only that, but they took her bank account and they made me the POA on her bank account. So now they're going to send new checks to this house right here. And so every month, whenever it comes time to pay this outrageous amount to this memory care facility, I can just break out the pen, write the check, send it to them, and everything is just wonderful. It would not have been wonderful if I didn't have the POA. You know what could have happened? If I didn't have the authority to do this, they could have tossed my poor, demented Alzheimer's mother out on the street. They would give you a 30-day warning, and then boom, they're out on the street. So it is so critical, and I'm so thankful that we were responsible enough to get a durable power of attorney. That's all I want to talk to you about today. I know it's boring, but it's so important, guys. And I got to experience that firsthand as of yesterday. And I got to call the office, and I told them, hey, tomorrow I will be mailing you out a big check to be expecting it. And they thanked me, and everything was cool, all because I had a durable power of attorney. I hope you'll go get one too. Sorry this was boring, folks, but this is being responsible, and I really think that each one of you should make sure that you have a will in place, and especially a durable power of attorney. I'm Jimmy Rance. I hope this helps.